Hi, I'm Master Kelvin Yap and welcome to my Feng Shui channel. Today we're going to talk about time and space, basically the astronomy of the Chinese metaphysics. Hi, I'm Master Kelvin Yap and I'm an internationally renowned Feng Shui master. Reason being is that I have many students around the world. I have books all around the world that are available on Amazon as well. You can go to Amazon and check it out. I also learn from various Feng Shui masters and incorporate various methods in the practice. As of 2024, I have published 20 books, and all the books are available on Amazon as well as on my website. In 2016, I actually went to Russia to teach Qimeng Tunjia to Russian Feng Shui masters. So as you see from below, all those are my books at the bottom here. As you can see from here, I actually run the Road to Feng Shui Master program for those people who want to be a Feng Shui master. As you can see, there's the blue color one is actually the Feng Shui track, while the yellow color is actually the Qimeng Tunjia track. So for the blue color one is for you to become a Feng Shui practitioner. So we have the Senku Takao program or the Sanho program, as well as the Feng Shui practitioner program through mentorship, mentorship by me. As well as the Qimeng Tunjia program, you have the Sanho program as well as the Qimeng Tunjia practitioner program as well. So there's also mentorship provided in the Qimeng Tunjia program for you to become the Feng Shui master. As you can see from here, there's also a face-to-face classroom or distance learning available. So you can actually sign up for the face-to-face class when it's available, or you can immediately sign up for distance learning. There will be a lifetime support by Master Kelvin Yap, by me myself, so I will support you throughout my lifetime. There are also unlimited repeats and access to distance learning. So let's say you take the face-to-face classroom, you can actually repeat it in your distance learning as well, or you can take the distance learning and continue to repeat in the distance learning. So I will guide you along the way so that you can become a successful Feng Shui master. Celestial sphere. So what is celestial sphere? So if you look at the picture below here, the Chinese celestial sphere from the Beijing Observatory, this is basically the celestial sphere where the Chinese astronomy was using. So in ancient times, our ancestors observed the sky and record the object movement throughout the year. So they record the object in this sphere itself. So celestial sphere is actually an imaginary sphere with the Earth as the center. So what you're looking at, we are at Earth looking up at the sky, and then we map out the sky how it look like, right? So from here you see this globe here. We are take in the positions that we are center, and then how the sky look like. Of course, we all know now that the Earth actually rotate around the sun, but at the ancient time, what they're doing is that they're taking Earth as a reference, and then see on the sky how the sky move around the Earth. So this is the celestial sphere that documented all this movement. So when you have the celestial sphere, then you have the celestial coordinates. So with the assumption that the Earth does not move and the rest of the object in the sky move, and each object will have its own coordinates. So the so-called longitude and latitude. If you understand the geography part of the world, you know that there is a longitude and latitude to pinpoint the location of a city or a place. You know, in GPS they use longitude and latitude to map out the location in the Earth itself. So likewise, the same thing, we have the celestial coordinate to map out the longitude, latitude of the object on the sky to re-reference the Earth, right? So with the Earth, like we looking up, what is the longitude, latitude, okay? So when we look up the Earth, from the Earth we look up the sky, it will appear that all the stars above us are rising from the east and then set in the west. So this is how the celestial works. So you map out the longitude, latitude of the stars and all the objects on the sky. So in relative to the Earth, the biggest object on the sky is actually the sun, right? So if you notice that the sun actually moves depending on different time of the year, right? So for example, if on the northern hemisphere, you will observe that the sun actually move up the celestial sphere and reach to the highest point around 21st June, which is called the summer solstice, right? At this point, the northern hemisphere receives the maximum amount of sun, okay, the hottest, right? Because the sun is highest in the sky at the noon and above the horizon for the longest period. So you got you got a lot of sunlight on this date, right? The maximum, right? This is if you study Qimeng Tunjia before, you know that after the summer solstice, this is where the Yin Tun start, right? Okay, the end of the Yang Tun and the start of the Yin Tun. That's why the summer solstice is. Where else, when at the lowest point, is the sun reached the lowest point is at the winter solstice, the Dongzhi, right, on the 21st of December or around 21st, 22nd December, during which the northern hemisphere you receive the minimum amount of sunlight, okay, at the same time. Okay, so this is where the sun is at the lowest in the sky at the noon, and also above the horizon for the shortest time. So you got actually you got more darkness than the brightness. Okay, you got this time. In the northern hemisphere, you experience the shortest daylight in the year. Okay, so where you have Dongzhi to celebrate. In Qimeng Tunjia, this is where you do the start of Yang Tun. Okay, Yang Tun, the Yang Tun start in winter solstice. So the solstice is actually depends on the position of the sun. Okay, so in northern hemisphere you have this phenomena, where else in the southern hemisphere you see the opposite. Okay, so in so-called the summer solstice, in the southern hemisphere you got the shortest sunlight. Where else, when in the winter solstice, you get the longer sunlight in the southern hemisphere, right? So it's the opposite because of the way the sun tilted. So what is Ane Lemma? Ane Lemma, you know that just now I mentioned that the sun actually move from one position to the other position throughout the year. Okay, from summer solstice to winter solstice and then back to summer solstice again. So this movement, you map it out, you will see the this phenomena called Ane Lemma, which is look like an 8 sign, right? Because the Earth is spinning on the axis at an angle. So Earth is not standing straight; it's actually at an angle 23.5 degree. The direction where the Earth spin on its axis is actually fixed in space. Because of this angle, the sun look like you're flying. Okay, in this 8 form. When you map out the sun position, you see that it's actually different time of the year, right? The sun actually move from one position to the other position. So if your house, you can see the sun in the morning. So if you observe throughout the year, the sun actually move from left to right, right to left again. Right, the sun actually move from summer solstice to winter solstice, winter solstice back to summer solstice. So the sun actually move, and it's actually in the 8 form. 8 forms. It's called Ane Lemma. So because of the sun move throughout the year, so a full sun position is divided into 24 sub-seasons. We have 12 months in the year, so each month has two sub-seasons, right? So you got Li Chun, Yi Shui, Jingshe, and so on and so forth. So it's a 24 sub-seasons. So you notice that Li Chun, we start at February 4th and 5th, around February 4th and 5th, is where the sun at the longitude of 315 degree. Likewise, Qingming is at 15 degree. Summer solstice, which is at 90 degree. And of course, the Dongzhi, which is the winter solstice, at 270 degrees. So the sun at a certain position, yes, that is where the certain longitude, that's where the season starts. So you have a 24 sub-season. So the 24 sub-season, as you all know, is actually used in Qimeng Tunjia to determine the tun number where to start. So the Qimeng Tunjia, because Qimeng Tunjia is based on the sun movement, right? So this is where the celestial coordinate for the sun is being determined, and then how it map into the season. So if you look at Tongsu, they actually talk about the season as well. And then this is further mapped into the Chinese calendar for people to do planting, because in the season, the season is actually used for farmer to see when they start planting. You notice that the season itself talk about like rainwater, insect awakening, grain rise, and small grain, summer harvest, so on and so forth. It's actually related to farming. So it's actually for farmer to farm. So it's basically based on the position of the sun. From there, you know that when you start farming. So all these are based on the sun movement related to Earth. Of course, we know that the Earth actually rotates around the sun, but then because the Chinese actually take the position of the sun as the center, and things move around it. Because of we observe that the sun actually move around throughout the year and back to the same position, we map the 12 months into 12 early branches. You notice that the branch for Yin you notice the 字 actually start in December, right? December, because the winter solstice start in December as well, so that's why 字 is in December. 丑, then 寅, Mao, Ten, all this map into the 12 early branches, which is the season, the main season for it. The Li Chun, Jing Zi, Qing Ming, Li Xia, and so on and so forth, right? All these are mapped into 12 early branches. It's based on the position of the sun related to the earth. Actually, it's you look at carefully, it's actually the earth rotating around the sun. So, Yin it will be spring, Si will be summer, and Shen is autumn, and Hai is winter. Right, it's mapped back to the 12 seasons that 12 months that we all know. Now, world time. Time zone is calculated relative to GMT or Greenwich Mean Time, which is the timekeeper of the world. So GMT is basically at London, right? So because of the business requirement, countries change the time zone for commerce. For example, using the longitude to calculate, Singapore is actually 103 degree and 55 minutes east of GMT, and therefore a time difference from GMT is actually 6 hours 55 minutes and 25 seconds. Okay, so that is the time difference between GMT and Singapore. But because of the business requirement, Singapore time zone is actually now GMT plus 8. So there's actually difference between the actual time, the solar time based on longitude, and then the time used on the wall clock. So if we go to Singapore, the time on the clock is actually GMT plus 8, right? Now you notice here that various time zones around the world. One thing to take note, you look at that, is you look at China. China actually have 3 time zones, even according to the world map here. But then they all use the same time. So if you go China, whether you are in Shanghai or you're in Xinjiang, you are both on the same time. But however, Xinjiang is actually three hours, according to this world map. Xinjiang is actually 3 hours away from Beijing. So, but Xinjiang is using Beijing time. So when you have a chance to go to Xinjiang, you will notice that the sun and the sun up and down is totally different from Beijing. So because of the time zone way to commerce, because of commerce of trade, so world time are adjusted according to the needs of doing business. Therefore, if you are doing a calculation of 八字 or stuff like that, then they will be totally different altogether. Here I'm trying to show you some of the terms used on the internet, or rather on the time space or the time sectors. There's things called local standard time versus local mean time. So local standard times are the time of the day based on the longitude of the zone meridian associated with the locality. So standard times is called some of them are called UTC or Universal Time, and Greenwich Mean Time or GMT. So LST is what you see at the clock on the wall. This one is called local standard time. So whichever country you're in, on that country, you see the clock on the wall, that's your local standard time. Okay. Local mean time is the form of solar time that corrects the variation of local apparent time, forming a universal time scale at a specific longitude. And it depends only on the accuracy of the clock used to measure this. This is the adjusted time based on the solar time. So this is the actual time based on the solar time, right? So just now you saw the local standard time is time on the wall. Local mean time is the actual time based on the position of the sun versus the earth, right? So example, Singapore local mean time is actually plus 6 hours 55 minutes and 35 seconds. Where the LST, the local standard time, is actually 8 plus 8. So in actual fact, there's a difference between 1 hour 4 minutes and 35 seconds between LMT and LST. So for example, if it's 8 o'clock in Singapore, or if you see the wall clock in Singapore, it will be shown as 8 o'clock. In actual solar time, it's actually 6 o'clock 55 minutes and 25 seconds. Right, so this is the difference between LMT and LST. So LMT is actually solar time. LST is the time on the wall, because LST are basically adjusted because of like I mentioned in the previous slide, is based on business purposes, commerce purposes. They adjusted in that manner. So here we reach the end of the topics. There are other topics that you can look out for. for these topics on time and space, they're actually more towards that. For example, how I practice and stuff like that. Those will be covered in the courses itself. For example, I normally use solar time for reading Bazi, but then I will use the time on the wall if I want to do divination. There are reason behind that, which I will cover if you take up my course. Of course, here's other topics that are of interest that you might want to go and watch, which is like heaven, earth, human, what is yin yang, what is qi, and so on and so forth. So there are many topics that are of interest. You can go and watch and study about it, so that to bring you up to speed on what is feng shui and what is metaphysics. Thank you for watching. Please continue to subscribe to watch my other topic video as well. So my website is here, www.fengshui-hacks.com. I have a blog as well. There's many articles that you can actually go and read at your free time. I have Instagram where you can subscribe to. I have Facebook page where you can go and like, so that when there's posting coming up, you can actually watch it. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where all the video will be posted there, as well as the TikTok channel where all the video will be there as well. You're interested in the distance learning, please go to this website here, fengshui-hacks.com/wp/courses, where you can have all the courses there. You can actually go and start taking courses from there. You can just sign up the courses and then you'll be given access to there. Thank you. Hope to see you in the other topic.